heard you in the front, and I thought, well, am I coming to a football game? We got it going on around here. Listen, today is an exciting and transformative day for the East Side and for all of Bexar County. We're not just breaking ground on a building, we're planting seeds for a healthier, more prosperous future. And I think we need to give thanks to so many organizations that are here. Some great VIPs made it by. Thank you, of course, for the foundation of this building, the Bexar County Ag Extension Service, for taking on the mission of this land and making it a living project and a continuous project where agriculture and nutrition will meet hands-on education. Thank you, Deborah Dockery. Where are you, Deborah? I want you to wave your hand. There you are, Deborah, out on the rural lands of Elmendorf, who is the architect, leading woman architect and business owner in this county. Proud to have you once again helping on such a marquee project. Dunaway Engineering, where is Dunaway in the house? Dunaway, good to see you. Thank you for your help. Poor Dunaway having to deal with the city and all the permits and everything like that. Hang in there, brother. Nunley Construction has been a great partner on this project. They're based right on the other side of the tracks on the east side. And everybody from Nunley, give them a big round of applause. They're going to be working this land for the next 15 months. Let me thank Facilities, who helped us program this space with the Extension Service. And I'd like to also acknowledge we've got Derek Howard from the Coliseum. Where's Derek again? I saw him in this morning. Good to see you, bringing us all kinds of good partnerships. Audrey Smith from the rodeo. Where are you at, Audrey? Thank you for being here. It's Rodeo San Antonio. Hey, who knows? We might be doing rodeo events out of here, huh? Well, can we do that? That'd be cool. I think the San Antonio partnership with the rodeo is going to be something that we do in the long term to turn a new chapter in the relationship between the rodeo and the East Side. And it's invaluable to have you all here. My best to Cody. I know he wanted to be here. Gordon Benjamin and Rita Bethany, they're two of my friends who are seniors from the East Point Senior Homes, which is a stone's throw from this. They're going to be and have been a big part of keeping the nutritional benefits of this farm in the community. Thank you for being here. We've also got Mary Short and Tommy Martin from Millers Point Homeowner Association. Thank you for your leadership and commitment to this community. Since 2020, grocery prices have risen by 34%, leaving many families in Bexar County struggling to afford basic necessities. The Greenies Urban Farm is our county's way of easing that burden by growing fresh, affordable food right here. We're reducing the impact of inflation on our most vulnerable residents. This farm is not just feeding people, it's providing sustainable solutions to the rising costs of living. This farm is a shining example of what responsible, community-centered development looks like. If we can build the event center and have weddings and scholarship banquets, this urban farm will generate revenue for the county and for the grounds of this urban farm, while addressing the urgent needs, which have 200,000 people in Bexar County food insecure, and 20% of our children food insecure, and battling our health epidemics that have weighed us down for generations, because food is medicine. We must not let a lack of vision or special interests undermine the long-term health and well-being of our community. We stand today on land that not too long ago was known as the Goonies because it was overgrown, it was trashed out, some negative things were happening behind the bushes. This land was an overgrown eyesore, a place overlooked for years. But you, not Tommy Calvert, the community, asked County Judge Nelson Wolf to do something about it back in 2014 when he and Commissioner Atkinson were battling it out for county judge. And we got together and said, let's build an urban farm. This is not just a piece of empty land. It's a canvas where we can build something that nourishes the body and the soul. Thanks to the advocacy of neighborhood leaders on the east side, and thanks to Commissioner Tommy Atkinson for running for county judge, we have this particular building. And you now have a groundbreaking to transform the Goonies into the Greenies urban farm. A beacon of hope, a nationally recognized beacon of hope. We're in the middle of a food desert. The Greenies urban farm has already accomplished so much. It won the National Association of Counties Achievement Award in Denver, Colorado for the impact of the Greenies during the pandemic. People like David and the Extension Service employees and the master gardeners, they grew and distributed over 25,000 pounds of fresh food to families struggling with job losses and rising costs. All y'all who are out in the fields, raise your hand. All those who are here from Master Gardeners, anybody here? Raise your hand. Give them a big round of applause. They were out here with masks on, tending to the crops so that people could be fed. 25,000 pounds on just one of the 10 acres that we have here. This farm also earned the Texas A&M Superior Service Award, proving its impact goes far beyond just feeding people. It provides hope for a model for others to follow. It plants the seeds for what I hope will be agri-hoods all over the community, particularly in the inner city, where we can teach on the east, south, and west sides that people can learn to harvest their own food in their backyards and in their apartments. We can teach people that food is medicine in partnership with University Health. As we break ground on this administrative and building an education center headquarters, we're watering our vision of agri-hoods. This new facility will house the Bear Agricultural Agri-Life Extension Service, where we'll offer a wide range of programs. Everything from accounting and leadership will be taught here, to how to make beer and wine, forgive us, Father, and even using food as medicine to fight diseases like diabetes and heart disease. Well, Jesus has made water and wine, didn't he? Anyway, we'll leave that alone. Our partnership with the University Health System ensures that this farm will be an active teaching ground for the Food as Medicine project. It's a project that's more about health and education. It's also about being relevant to our public policy by helping people with their pocketbook issues and tackling one of the greatest challenges of everyone faces today, this rising food costs. Everything is $10. Breakfast is $10. Lunch is $20. Dinner is $30. Cucumbers are $10. Everything is $10. And the new building we're breaking ground on today is a critical piece of this farm's future, with the new partnerships to be worked on. I think with philanthropists, I see partnerships with the rodeo. I can see horses and cows and other animals that the community will be able to farm on and be able to have scholarships for our kids, for inner city 4-H programs and other health initiatives this community has been lacking for too long. I want to speak to some of you young people holding these instruments. You guys are strong. Some of you from the Young Men's Leadership Academy. I want you to recognize some history that maybe nobody told you about what happened at Wheatley. Most of us in the community call Young Men's Leadership Academy Wheatley because we knew it as Wheatley High School, Wheatley Middle School. But for those of you who don't know the history of the school on the other side here, Wheatley was the all segregated black high school, and we rest on the shoulders of a teacher named Hattie Briscoe. Hattie Briscoe taught at Wheatley Young Men's Leadership Academy, and she was a beloved teacher, and she had a journey that went from beloved teacher to being the first black woman to pass the bar exam. And it's the essence of a life theme that could be summed up as great people always rise in spite of the obstacles. Hattie teaching at Wheatley. She was one of the most popular teachers, and she was a member of the NAACP, a very active member. And at the time, the NAACP were pushing for the city and the San Antonio Independent School District to integrate their swimming pools. We lived in a city where black kids and white kids and Hispanic kids couldn't swim in the same pools together. So-called wise heads leading the county and the city said, we're not going to have that. Well, Hattie's principal, because of her advocacy, had Hattie fired. She was just fighting for equality. Something that, had she not fought for, we wouldn't have the diversity that we're standing amongst right now. So the community decided to send Hattie to law school in 1955, and future Supreme Court Justice Thurgood Marshall filed suit against SAISD and the city of San Antonio on their segregated facilities and won. Her legal battles, fought alongside the NAACP, were not merely legal challenges. They were moral crusades against the entrenched forces of white supremacy and discrimination, forces that are alive and well in Bexar County today, and that I still fight with you against today. Her legacy teaches us that the quest for justice requires not only legal acumen, but a profound sense of commitment and innovation. She reinvented herself from teacher to lawyer, making her enemies her footstools. Now that's what you call flipping the script, young people. Take that Hattie Briscoe spirit with all of you when obstacles come in your life. So today, let us not just celebrate this building, but the future we are building together. Think about the last 75 years going back, and think about the more unified, more loving 75 years that we and these young people are going to build in this country against division, for prosperity, for an opportunity where everyone can rise, where obstacles of high cost of living don't put people in despair and think that the government has to give you everything, but give you the opportunity to see that we can work with private sector, we can work with the community sector, the faith-based education sector for affordable food. A future where we lift up our community, invest in its health, and ensure that no one is left in the Goonies. No one is left in the Goonies, but moves forward in the Greenies. Thank you all for your hard work and dedication. Let's break ground and continue growing this future together, more united, more loving, and more relevant to improving the lives of the people of Bexar County. Thank y'all.
AgriLife Extension Service here in Bexar County, Mrs. Nelda Speller.
Well, as you can see, I'm as short as David. And usually you can only see the top of my head behind a podium. So I'm going to stand right in front of you today. But thank you, David, and thank you to all of you for joining us here this morning. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the Bexar County Commissioners Court, as well as Bexar County Commissioner Tommy Calvert for his vision of the Greenies Urban Farm. As the Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service, we believe in people, programs, and partnerships. And this farm is for the people. And we like to say that we are in the people business. So I'd like to invite you to join me as we begin the official countdown to completion. I was told that it will take 365 days to complete this phase of construction, and that's as of August 5th, and Dan Curry is smiling. So that would make today day 326. So please join me in celebrating day 326. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nelda. So the director, that wasn't me. Bexar County Facilities Director, Nelda mentioned his name, Dan Curry. We want to welcome him up here, and then all the his staff, Jesse, and all the folks that have really helped with it. Really helped. He's moving me. Really helped with this project, Dan.
Thank you, David. Oh, somebody put me in the sun. Right, he knows I need a tan. I got, Commissioner, I appreciate your comments. I'm going to disagree with you on one thing. I was out here in 2019 with you, and I didn't see what you saw. Right, you saw a blank canvas here that we're turning into a marvelous facility, and we're not done yet. Like you talked about, we have future phases of this project coming that are going to be even more exciting than what we're doing now. This is a huge step for us to create an anchor on this side of town in the Commissioner's District. You're a champion for this project, and I thank you for that. So I want to give a shout out. Thank you. Please. I always say if I give an opportunity, I want to always recognize my guys. There's some maintenance techs in the back, and David and Ray and Hector and your team. Our custodial services team is here, as well as our project management team. So once this building is done in 300, how many days now? To 320? She's got the clock started. I was looking at our contractor, Blaine. I was like, did you know about this? Nope. So yeah, he's gonna. Well, it's the date now, Blaine. So congratulations. But once we get ownership of this building, we'll be the ones taking care of it every day, making sure that we can provide great services to you guys in the community. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Dan. So the architect that's been on this from the very beginning and probably drew a lot of plans up and leading this, and we're very appreciative on that, is Deborah Dockery. And thank you for being here and all the work you've done on this project, Deborah.
I am tall enough to be behind the mics. And I do want to talk about how we got to where we are today. Bexar County enlisted my firm 6 years ago, in 2018, to provide a master plan for the development of this 10-acre site. At that time, the site was overgrown and undeveloped, as the commissioner noted. My associate Edgar Sanchez and I literally crawled through the brush, encountering the homeless encampments and the unofficial dump sites. But we wanted to understand the attributes of the area and how best to orient the planned agri-life building and the urban farm facilities. And we did see the possibilities in the native landscaping, in the neighborhood, and the site configuration. The Minger Creek and the drainage channel crossing the site could be developed into landscape features, supporting the urban farm image. An acoustical barrier along the north property line with the railroad is an opportunity for a landscape feature with solid walls and vegetation. The linear configuration of the 10 acres supports the urban farm as the heart of the campus, with the agri-life building anchoring one end and the future training, classroom, and event center at the other. Working with Director Speller and her team, Mr. Curry and the Facilities Management Group, and Commissioner Calvert and the Precinct 4 staff, we sought to discover the goals for the project, the functions that needed to be accommodated, the opportunities and constraints, all towards reaching a common vision. Meetings were held with each department, David's department and Family Life Department, to discover their operational needs and goals. This site will place the Texas A&M Agri-Life Extension Program in a central location for the whole of Bexar County, and in close proximity to the Frost Center and the annual agri-life events that happen there. The area is highly visible from the Walter Street overpass and will be a neighborhood landmark. The overarching concept of our vision was a beautifully landscaped garden and a working farm with shaded outdoor areas and buildings supporting the garden image. The farm is the heart of the complex, surrounded by the outdoor classroom, which you are in right now, the greenhouses that will be completed with this phase along with the new agri-life building. With the urban farm and the gardens in the middle, everyone walks through the farm to enter the buildings of the pavilion and the future outdoor space, agri-life building. The existing channel behind you is restored and enhanced as a landscape feature with pedestrian bridges connecting the parking to the AgriLife building and making the connection from car to building an enjoyable short journey. A looped walkway will allow the folks here to exercise in nature, and the buildings are all oriented to take advantage of solar and wind issues. The AgriLife focus of the AgriLife programs and the opportunity to provide significant facilities in this neighborhood suggests an architecture rooted in the culture of Bexar County and the Eastside Promise neighborhood with indigenous materials and forms. The exterior materials are planned to represent Bexar County, not the hill country, with sandstone and wood, earth and warmth as the inspirations. The interior organization of the new 17,000 square foot building will consolidate the AgriLife departments: AgriLife and Natural Resources, Family and Community Health, 4-H and Youth, and Administration. Each department has its identity, but each is in proximity to the other departments to promote collaboration and camaraderie. An open central staff area and break room supports impromptu gatherings and sharing. Expansive glazing area give visual and emotional connection from the offices to the gardens and to the farm. The public areas will include a main entry lobby, receptionists, and spaces accessed by patrons to the extension services. These spaces are a library with informational materials, a room for volunteers, and a large meeting room for instructional programs that can be separated from the rest of the building for after-hours use. The welcoming lobby is also an opportunity for displays, such as programs that the Extension Service are offering, historical information, and the successes that the Service Center has achieved. The site development will include constructing raised plant beds, right where we're standing here, for demonstration, and also an area for field-grown crops. Water harvested from cisterns on the roof of the new building will augment the landscape watering, and greenhouses and a barn will be constructed to further support the urban farm program. Inspiration for the design is key, but then the concept has to be developed into detailed documents for construction, meeting building codes and owner expectations. The form, function, materials, and systems have to come together in a logical set of drawings. The architectural production team of Edgar Sanchez, Jeremiah Gonzalez, Esther Garza, Emily Liao, and Dina Ledford are recognized for the Herculean effort that they perform every day. Critical to the function of the building are the systems that you won't see: the structure, the mechanical and electrical, and plumbing, the site drainage. Our team includes Alpha Consulting Engineers for structural engineering. And do we have some Alpha representatives? Alderson and Associates Mechanical and Electrical Engineering. I think I saw Todd and Philip and Wesley. And Dunaway Associates for Civil Engineering and Landscape Architecture, and O'Brien Mask, the Vice President's here. So we often complain about them, but they are absolutely critical to making the building function. This next stage is the most exciting. It is a privilege to be an architect, envisioning how something might be, seeing it come together, and hopefully enhancing and inspiring the neighborhood in which the project exists. We are most pleased to be working with Nunnally team to see this project to fruition, and we look forward to the next 326 days. Thank you.
All right, so everyone close their eyes right now. Deborah, that was a great job. Can you see it? Can you see it? Yes, it's coming. Great job. So the construction company that's running the show here is Nunnally Construction. They're going to make this thing happen. And Blaine Beckman. Hey, Blaine.
Thank you very much. The only problem with giving comments last is I had to rewrite my speech like 5 times because all the amazing remarks that have been said thus far I had in my comments, of course. But no, thank you very much. My name is Blaine Beckman. I'm the president of Nunnally General Contractor. My business partner, Greg Vaughn, is the CEO. He's in the back. I would like to thank Bexar County, the Commissioner's Court, for approving this project. Specifically, I would like to thank Commissioner Calvert. I've seen firsthand how much he fought to get the funding and to get this project approved and brought to the east side. Also would like to thank Dan Curry and his team. A lot of work goes into bringing a project to this point. So I'd like to thank everyone who has been involved thus far. Not General Contractor is a contractor that's been in business in San Antonio for 102 years. Of that 102 years, we have officed here on the east side for 40 of those years. So we are extremely grateful and very thankful to be awarded this project, because there's nothing better than building in your backyard. And so we're so thankful to be the contractors on this project. We're also thankful to be teamed with Deborah Dockery and her team. We've been working with Deborah for, I don't want to throw a number out, but it's been decades. And she always does such a fantastic job to put a good facility together with great design. And the most important part is a lot of times you see beautiful buildings, but they don't function well. She does a great job putting those two together, so we're lucky to have her on this project. I looked up groundbreaking, and it was very interesting because the first two items that popped up was construction and when you break ground to build a farm or a garden. So I thought it was so neat and appropriate for the type of project that this is. A fun little fact, groundbreaking ceremonies have been taking place since 113 BC. So for thousands of years, what we're about to do has been a tradition in the construction space. And so we're so lucky to be out here doing this for this project. The symbolism behind a groundbreaking is progress, growth, and a new story beginning. So I believe I'm the last to speak. So at this point, I think the next step is to grab shovels and to begin chapter 1 of the Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Project. Thank you.
Thanks, Blaine. All right, Commissioner Calvert, let's do it. Let's.
Okay. Reverend Seward, come up here, Rev.
Yeah.
Come up here, Rev.
I have 2 more shovels here.
Excuse me. Rev, we need that.
This way?
Yeah. Only cut. Can we have a shovel for them over here?
Yes. We have 1 more shovel, Commissioner Calvert.
Okay, well, facilities. Somebody from facilities.
Somebody from facilities, Dan, Jesse, somebody.
All right, I got my boots on. You're gonna give it the 3, 2, 1, right?
All right, 3, 2, 1. Woohoo!